You know, our members at the club even know the contractor that we work with because he's that involved with our club business. So we all want to remember that tennis professionals, directors of tennis, whatever you want to call us, as long as it's clean, we are relationship people, and we really value relationships. And you'll see in our business models, if tennis racket reps are going into dealing with everything on the internet, we aren't dealing with them anymore. We're relationship people. So we want you to be involved in our business, and we want you to get to know our members and our committee people. So that's a great one. So once you're into the facility and you get to meet the tennis professional or the director of tennis, then it's your job to really use that time you've got with them to, like Dave said, set the appointment, and then make sure you set the appointment with enough time, at whatever time's good for that tennis professional, to really walk through. And as Dave said, hopefully you did a little bit beforehand, so you've made some notes, but you can walk through that facility with the tennis professional. And this gives you an opportunity to interface and dialogue with them. And again, they get to know you and know your thought process. But you walk through and you look at everything with eyes wide open so that you can offer suggestions, you can give compliments, you can give new thoughts to them. We would always, as we've all said here this afternoon, we would like to have 3 companies do that with us. And sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. But that's the best way to get a great bid, is to really spend time walking through the facility with the director of tennis. And you guys know this better than we do, but as you present that bid then to the director of tennis, present it so they can explain it. And we'll talk about that in more detail, but tennis professionals or directors of tennis are very, we want it all. We want it all yesterday. So, and lots of times we can't even comprehend how expensive that's going to be. So not only do you want to give us gold, silver, and bronze options, but you want to also break things down infinitesimally so that the fence may be something we can put off for 3 years, but we know we need to do net posts and resurfacing this year. So you want to break it down into silly parts, and you want to break it down so that they can explain it, so that your bid looks fair and just against every other bid. Fencing, for example. Is it vinyl coated? Is it chain link? Is it painted? Is it galvanized? Be honest and upfront, because those things, again, the more detailed you are, the better the professional looks when he goes higher up the food chain, and the better you look when it comes time for that installation. And then, of course, now you're on your own. Bid that project.
And this is where, again, you're going to come back, your relationship. What's that relationship like? That first time you get together with the pro. Because now you're going to have to educate him or her and let them understand what the options are in the proposal. And Paula was exactly right. We want it all. We want to have the Taj Mahal. We want to have the greatest facility out there, so we can say that throughout the land. I have the best facility out there. So as you're educating them, the reason this is important is because they're going to, you saw the slide from Ed, they're going to go before a series of different boards. The first time will be easy. They're going to be before their tennis committee or at least just the tennis chairman. And they've got to be able to speak the language. They've got to be able to speak to the codes. And this is so that there are no surprises down the road. We hear of nightmares where different clubs will get ready to do something, and next thing you know, they didn't get permitting. Okay, they figured the club was already there. Why do I need a permit? Right? It's existing. I'm just going to replace something, and that's where a tennis pro will then get himself in trouble because he was seen as sort of the facilitator of this. So you've educated them, and now it's really important that you support them, and that could be from not just with photos, with literature, so they understand what's out there in the market, and that could be is it a rebuild and we're going from above ground irrigated courts to subsurface? Okay, so it would be very important because when you go to say this to a tennis committee, they might not understand. And they're, at the end of the day, remember, it's their money at the club. And you're going to want to sell yourself and why I want to pick you. I have this great relationship, but is the relationship just based on the fact that, we had some nice conversations? And these are all things that are coming from these committees that are driving behind you. And then, of course, you're going to have to go to a general manager who's going to put his or her name on the line with this project as well. Because, as Ed said earlier, there are a lot of projects going on in the clubs all the time. And there are a lot of dollars that need to be spent, and they're not always easily accessible for every single department. So then you want to get to the point, where, as we say in the slide, it's make or break step, right? What's going to differentiate you from the other contractor? What have you done in the area? Are you a contractor that's been on the property quite a bit? I can give you a personal story without this being a storyline seminar, and that is that when we had a hurricane 4 or 5 years ago down in our area, we were blessed that it missed us, but we had a contractor who showed up on our property about 4 days after the storm. So everybody had kind of gotten their personal lives in order, and this person came down and was checking on how's the property, how'd you do, how'd you fare, and let me tell you, that goes an awful long way down the road when it comes time for bids and bid packages and how did you sell yourself, and when we get to the make or break, because it's going to make or break comes down to dollars. So we want to make sure that the professional has the right reasons to make this decision, and in the contractor he's going to pick, and you want to make sure that the facility is going to get the best possible product.